Live streaming and we're coming up on the encoder and let's play the music. So here we go.
So you wanna be a
A cool kid.
hanging with a ink and
Looks like I'm floating on a boat somewhere.
looking real cool and fine. Asking
Wait
who's
for it.
liking it. So you wanna be
Here we go. Bop, 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 bop. Thank you to Serge Hoffman, and I have wonderful news. I have wonderful news. Bonnie D here on Two Saucy Dames. We dish more Two Saucy Dames today with Karen G and Bonnie D. Next week, I will be doing a live stream with the composer. He did the music and the singing of my lyrics to So You Want to Be. Serge Hoffman will be here with me. And it's a new version of this show. I did one with Martin S. last week. And Karen, it's called We Dish TOO, Saucy Dame plus Cool Dude. So Serge
Love it.
Hoffman, Serge H is going to be one of my cool dudes. Karen, how are you?
I'm doing well. Very excited to do this on a Thursday with you.
That's right. You're my Friday girl Friday.
Yeah.
That's famous. I think it was a secretary or something. We're way
Yeah.
past that. We're way past that. Okay, so Karen, I'll do my little opening. All right. Let's
Okay.
wave hello to, let's see, we're streaming everywhere. It looks like it's working. Okay, so let's see. You may know us well, Bonnie D and Karen G, seasoned in life, free to be. Face to face in social media's virtual space and grace, we're content creators filling our space. I think I used space twice. Now I changed it a little. Now, here on We Dish, we're here to play, lighting up the cybersphere in our too saucy way. You feeling too saucy today, Karen? I think you are. Riffing about culture, music, food for a start. Say what headlines used to be wacky. It's say what poetry and our own original art. No politics here, just smiles and delight. Join us live or on demand any time of day or night. We won't be here, but you can find us. So tune in, and I could be sleepless some night. You could find me. So tune in, enjoy as we chat and connect here on We Dish. We bring you fun you might never expect. Bonnie D and Karen G, today's two saucy dames. Together, we will dish on life's many games. So what'd you think?
I love it.
Thank you. By the way, if you want to have fun, if you use ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT for something about you that I call it she, my virtual assistant, that she has learned about working with you if you use her consistently, like I do for my radio introductions.
Ooh.
Ask her, what do you know about me that people might not know, and see what she got. And then, if you really want to have fun, everybody, I'm talking to everybody here, business people, everybody, ask ChatGPT or whatever LLM you use to put out a roast for you, to write a roast. It won't be vicious, but it will be very, very funny. And mine was, she said, you do so much poetry and you ask for so many verses and you write back so many verses, Bonnie D, that I'm wondering if you're going to ask Alexa to put your shopping list for groceries into poetic format. I thought that was adorable. And I suggested this, Karen, to somebody on LinkedIn the other day, and he did it. And other people on this thread did it, and they're having a lot of fun with it. So if you want to have a
Ooh,
little
I'm gonna
fun,
do that.
yeah, you got to do it. And you present it on the next one. Okay. So, Karen, why don't you refresh people and remind them who you are and what you do? And I'll do a little bit of my 25-word bio, and then we'll get started. Go.
Okay, I'm the mother of two adult daughters. I'm a wife and author. My first book is Mama's Gotta Let Go, How to Let Go Without Losing Your Sanity, followed by 100 Parenting Tips Inspired by the Pandemic. And I'm one of 30 authors who were part of The Power to Rise Above, where I write a chapter on the gift of failed suicide attempt. I've heard that there were a couple of people who found it on their desk and decided to live another day. So I think that's where my mission is not only, I used to say to revolutionize parenting, to break the cycle of anxious parenting, but I think now it's more reparenting our inner child so that we can do a lot of healing because as you know, a lot of the limited beliefs that we have, right? So that's my mission. I'm an artist, poet, educator, and of course, parent and family coach. Thank you for having me, Bonnie.
You're welcome. Do you know that this
Oh.
is, I think, number 9? This is the
Wow.
ninth we did. Sherry's up to, I think, 11 or 12, and Mary's at about 8. You're all catching up to each other. There you go. So, reminder, I'm Bonnie D. Live radio, creator, producer, host, storyteller, playwright, artist, drummer, poet, creator of the 3-minute soundbite roundtable thought leadership. I have to add that in. We don't sell on my shows. Early woman in tech, coding in COBOL on a Xerox Sigma 6 3CP5 mainframe in a big computer room. Former stand-up, now trying just to be funny, sitting down. And when I had some blood work taken at the hospital last week, I was lying down. I was still being funny. So there we are. Karen, I have to address an issue here, and just give me a second here, and I'd like your feedback.
Okay.
Somebody who publishes a lot on LinkedIn wrote that people shouldn't use it for anything on the personal side. You knew I'd bring this up, that it's only for business and growing our business, and how dare people use it, and go to Facebook if you want to talk about. And I have a strong belief that getting to know people who are business people, who are inventors, entrepreneurs, innovators, thought leaders, getting to know who they are as human beings humanizes the business experience, and there's nothing wrong with it. And when I moderate business courses, I do moderation for a well-known global press on very deep dive financial topics. I
Hmm.
always ask the instructor before I introduce them, Karen, to tell me something that people might not know about them, something personal, something interesting. It's called relatability.
Yes.
We
Connection
can't,
is the key.
Absolutely. We can't relate to somebody who's written 150 books and done 12,000 interviews and 15,000 classes, and awards winners on, award winning on 15 different continents, and been, a top CEO for 25 years. That's great. That's somebody you might put on a pedestal and look up. But when you hear that they like the Rangers, or you hear that they prefer lemons over limes, or that they brew their
Yes.
coffee in a French press, rather, and they hate dusty tea bags. That's what the Brits call them. You say, oh, there's a person in there. What do you think, Karen?
I totally agree. I mean, I love how Jesslyn said, I'm gonna have fun. So she'll do dancing on LinkedIn, she'll share things, and that's what really helps us get to know someone. Because I don't think we feel comfortable doing business with people we don't truly know. You know they're outside, but how do you establish rapport and trust if you don't know, you know, something
Rapport, good
personal
word.
about them?
You have
Yeah.
to tell people who Deslin is. You mention her name on almost
Oh yeah.
every show, and you've never told people who she is. Come on, quick bio, Deslin.
Jaslyn Hockey is my best friend. We met during the pandemic. She has her podcast, Healing with Aloha, helps people grieve, and she is just such a soul sister. You've interviewed her, and I think just her
Hmm.
energy, you know that she's never all about business. No matter what group she's in, she brings a smile, she brings humor, and I think that's why I keep bringing her up.
A good spirit. Thank you, because you mentioned Desolate, and last time I meant to tell you to ask you, please. So let's do a couple of OTT. This is off the top, getting to know you a little better, although we do very well already. But let's go into some other areas of your life. Colors of the season. We're almost on the cusp of November 2024. Do you decorate your house with seasonal colors, or you just look at the stores and look outside and say, "Oh, it's fall"? What do you do, Karen?
Well, because we don't change colors here in Hawaii, we just have one season usually, right? I mean, we have like hurricane season, but overall, even during hurricane season, there's sun. So when I was younger, a younger mom, yeah, you do like the stickers and the decorations. But I think as you get older, I'm just keeping life like just be a minimalist in some ways. Enjoy the outdoors. Enjoy the like. There's some really beautiful, spooky Halloween decorations, in our neighborhood. But I don't think I have their energy. Or the, I want to say I probably have the time, but I just can't get into it. I know people have 12 Christmas trees out right now in their house,
Oh,
like each,
really?
yeah, and they put them up in September. 5 kids, really, really into it. Indoors, outdoors. Yeah. So you have those
Wow.
people,
Well, there are
and
people
then
who collect decorations for table and windows as well, and they have
yes, yes,
each
yes,
season
yes.
has. I knew people like that in New York, and they had whole table settings and everything, and they got them out, and thousands of Christmas tree ornaments or whatever they did for their holiday. Very interesting. I should have remembered about Hawaii, but you gave me a good answer anyway. Next question. This is very, very, very. It's a political question. You know, we never do politics here, but I'm going to dip my
I
toe
can't
in this
wait.
water. Pumpkin spice. Do you
Absolutely.
Yes or
throughout
no?
the year. Yes, yes,
Candles,
yes.
drinks, potpourri, or do you prefer vanilla? Pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice. What do you
Oh,
think of it?
yeah. I made actually pumpkin latte at home. I'm into pumpkin everything. Someone said, "Wow, you don't that is an American thing." They didn't think it was an Asian thing for some reason, but I love pumpkin. It just makes me happy.
I just bought 3 cans of pumpkin puree because I thought I would make some pumpkin muffins and
You
maybe a
know why I always
pumpkin
have
pie.
pumpkin puree? I include it with my dog's food. Pumpkin is really healthy, and I found out cats and dogs like it. So it's pure pumpkin puree. The cat just licks up the tiniest bit, and the dogs just apps, and it's very healthy for them.
I have to
So
find
I
out if
just
my
realized in the past, yeah.
I have to find if my grandpuppies can have it because they were allergic to chicken and some other things, but I'll find out next time
Oh,
they visit if they want some pumpkin. I'll ask my daughter.
yeah, I think they'll love it.
That's a riot. I don't buy coffee anywhere and I can't do even decaf anymore. So, by the way, you mentioned before you used to do decorations and now that you're older, you're older? Is that breaking news? Is there something happened? Did you go to
I'm
Australia?
like you. I will wear that 60th birthday crown when I'm 80. I'm going to be body. I'm 80. I'm 90, and just like
We're going to
I don't
stay at
know.
60, Karen. We're going to stay at 60. That's all I will admit. Next question. Get off of this one. How do you listen to your music on the phone, the computer, pods, TV, YouTube on TV, other devices? And how do you platforms, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, other or CD player or old-fashioned radio? Where do you get your music, Karen?
I used to do CDs even when the iPods ran, and then I'm subscribed to 3 months of the premium Spotify, and I don't know why. I just can't use it. I love the playlist that my daughter made because I'm in the car, very short rides, right? But I just love being able to control what I hear. I try the radio, and it's like next, skip, and you know, only like 10, 15 minutes, so I have to listen to the songs.
You want to know where
Enjoy.
I get my
Where do
music?
you get them?
Two places. Number one, Alexa. I will say to Alexa if I'm leaving the house and I want music in the house so that somebody thinks somebody's home, if they were to come up to the door, no, I've
Hmm.
double locked and with an alarm. Be wary, everybody. Or if I'm in a mood and I need a little cheering up,
Yep.
I say, Alexa, play Megan Trainor.
Oh my gosh, love it.
So bouncy, so fun. Sometimes her ballads are a little touch home a little bit and they're a little moody, and I'll say next. But I could come home an hour or two later from shopping or whatever, and that station is still going on Alexa in my kitchen. And it's just lovely. So that's where I get music. And recently I auditioned as a drummer for a local band, and they gave me 32 songs on their set list and asked me to pick 8 to play. And I actually went to YouTube
That's my other thing, YouTube.
on my phone and I put the phone next to the drum kit and I played the song and then I drummed along to see if I that's one of the songs I want to audition. So I played 32 songs and I captured the links in an email to myself so I know yes, no, maybe I want to play this, I don't want to play this. So I did use YouTube for those songs, but I like getting my music on Alexa because I can take that plug in and put it anywhere in the house or my phone. It works just fine. So that's music. So one
Wow.
more question before we get to our poetry and art and our headlines. How do you prefer to read? Print? Do you still like to hold a book in your hand? I'll share with you mine when you're done. Or an ebook? Do you get your ebooks downloadable? Do you like to read on Kindle? Do you have a device? What do you do for reading?
I've tried Kindle, I've tried downloading books, and for some reason, I always go back to just feeling the pages, holding a book, and even the smell of my daughter's like, oh my gosh, we're number one, when you pick it up at the library. Something about, and she always wants hardback. I don't really care, but she thinks like hardback when you get it from the library, you don't know what you're going to get, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, mom, I'm number one. Plus, it's a hardback. And you look at her and it's like she won the jackpot.
That's wonderful. That's a riot. I used to receive hard copy books when I went to the National Publicity Summit years ago in Manhattan
Ooh,
twice a year from the authors who were pitching my Read My Lips radio show, where I'm akaRadioRed. And I had this thought that there's something sacred about somebody who bothered to go to the trouble to have their book printed. So I never got rid of these books and I accumulated hundreds of them,
wow.
all shapes and sizes, all qualities and not. Some of them were hardbound, some of them were just paperback, some of them, printed at Staples and with a staple on
Well, I
cover and
work
all
with
that.
students, so I don't want to show them a download. Sometimes I will, but there's nothing about, they're holding it. They can,
Yep.
fill the pages.
Well, here's what happened. When I moved from New York to North Carolina about 7 years ago, I didn't want to take all these books. I mean, they were massive. I had bookshelves, walls of them covered with books. So I asked a friend who played tennis in Queens, New York at the public courts if he thought people would like free books. He said, bring it
Wow.
on. So we loaded up the trunk of his car a couple of times. Everything, anything that, but I couldn't throw books out. That's what I'm trying to say. There's something sacred.
Yes.
Unless a book was so egregiously bad, so badly edited, or so offensive that once in a while, I think in 10 years, I threw out two books where I just didn't even want them near me or anybody. I literally trashed, throw them in the garbage. However, so we loaded up his trunk with books and he went to the tennis court and opened the trunk in the parking lot and said, who wants free books? There were three books left out of a trunk load after about 15 minutes. He gave away everything.
Wow.
People were so happy. And these are not people who didn't know what a book was or who didn't have library books. They just said, wow, I'm getting a free book. This is really cool. I think we did it a couple of times and we got rid of the books. So my rule of thumb with my authors on my radio shows is I want the ebook. I want the ebook. Sometimes they send me a link to Kindle or WeBook or something, and it's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's unwieldy, and I'm not crazy about reading a book online. But if I'm in a hurry and I want to read a book before a radio show, I will appreciate the digital version. But I'll tell you something funny. When you ask somebody, an author, for a PDF, an ebook of whatever they've worked on, and whether it's published or not, typically they don't name the file. The file will say Karen's inside pages content book number one done .pdf. It
Interesting.
rarely has the name of the author in the file name and it rarely has the title of the book. And I get these all the time. Internal only. And then Karen's cover and my picture. People are not naming their files. I'm not complaining, but I am. And I say to them, if I get 5 books in one day and they all say my book, what am I supposed to do with
Yeah.
them?
I put the first few words and I'll put final draft. I mean, there's just so
Something like
many.
that. But very rarely get the name anyway. My complaints are done. Okay. So I prefer the digital version of books because I don't have room to store them and I don't have time. I know the feeling of feeling good paper and a shiny glossy cover and
Yes.
looking at artwork and it's so wonderful. But efficiency has taken over for me. Okay. Time for poetry. What have you got for me?
I wanted to try writing something. So I did this yesterday just for here. Don't know
Okay.
how you'll take it.
We're
It's
honored.
are you comfortable being vulnerable? Are you waiting to cry? Do you feel like you'll die of heart-wrenching shame? Will you play the blame game? Find the strength to be brave. Don't take it to the grave. Take time to heal your soul. Maybe take a poll. When we share our poor pain, it's healing for our brain. Me and the brain.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to read one that for Wednesday, I'm part of the Writer's Digest poetry group. And Wednesday, early in the morning, we got a prompt for the week's poems, a theme, use the word or something around it. Robert Lee Brewer is a
Mhm.
senior editor. And this week for October 23rd, the theme was write a cozy poem. And it could be anything to do with the word cozy. So I wrote 3 poems, but I have one for you. And then I have 2 others from different weeks. And this one is a triple haiku or a haiku triplet. So it's the number of syllables is 575. The first line is 5 syllables, then 7 and 5.
Mhm.
And I have 3 of these. And here we go. Posse of blankets, the moss we gather in life. Favorite cost $10. Dollar store sweet gem. So soft, black velour with stars hiding on deep shelf. Come home with me, please. We'll brave winters, light breezes, cozy together.
Ooh, I just feel all cozy.
You like that? I got some nice
Yes.
responses. Do your next one. Go ahead.
This one I found, it is called, now that I'm preparing for my reparenting your inner child, right?
Hmm.
A virtual retreat. It's called What Children Need. I guess I did this back in January. Love without conditions. Care through showing actions. Forgive when you're upset. Throw your stress in a net. Teach them through role modeling. Encourage them to sing. Let them be curious. You might feel furious. When kids have a safe place, you'll see smiles on their face. Find out their love language. They won't feel like garbage. Talk with them, not at them. Treat kids like they're a gem. Kids will start to flourish. They crave to be nourished.
How lovely. How
Thank
lovely.
you.
You're in the rhyming school.
I'm in the rhyming school.
I realized there's one I did that was a very run-on poem, a cozy poem this week, and I decided instead of one of the others, I'd like to read it, but I think I want to show it.
Okay.
I think I want to show it. Let me show it. It's going to be a little crowded here on the screen, but let's go to screen and share. It's going to be a mess. Here we go. So here it is. It's called Meandering Promptly. You ready? So
Yes, I'm
let me
ready.
change one word. So world is, let me give my typo here. World is blaring, grating, noisy, piercing, raucous, shrill, strident, unmelodious. She craves, calming, cozy, comfy, loving, peaceful, restful, secure, sheltering, snugly. Is it too much? To ask, beckon, require, request, search, seek, strive, summon. Not loud, Aerosmith, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Journey, Mahler, Queen, Tchaikovsky. Just spin, Bublé, Eagles, George Michael, Mathis, Ritchie, and a cozy book cottage, fireplace, evening, house, night, story, sweater, dream on.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I did it as a run on without any punctuation. And it just felt interesting. Yeah, you really had to see it in order to appreciate it rather than just me reading it because it wouldn't make any sense. But the one I wanted to read was this one is just one of my limericks. And
Mhm.
let's see what this will write a responsible poem. This is from August 28th. So this is my limerick. There once was a broadcaster named Red. On this Wednesday, before all's done and said, as producer and host, it falls on her head to keep airwaves lively, eschewing air dead. She's the one responsible for preventing such dread.
I love the way your brain thinks.
That was a five. That was a five on the same rhyme scheme. I usually change it for lines 3 and 4, but that was it. Do you have one more poem for us?
Let's see. I have one. I don't think I read this. It's called Emotional Regulation.
Hmm.
Okay. This is last January.
Oh,
Our feelings need transformation, or we end up in reaction. Resentment may build, anger may be spilled. We wonder why we may explode. Our heart ends up feeling so closed. And our children need to learn, why are we so stern? We lack the patience. There is evidence. Feelings must be felt, or our heart will melt. Embrace your feelings to begin healing. Manage emotions. They're all illusions. I'm sorry, trust your heart to heal. Just learn how to feel. And I wrote that because a lot of my students now are resistant in feeling the negative emotions and teaching them that,
really?
it's like, it's okay. I think they're taught, right? Stop crying. Why are you sad? Get out of your mood.
Mm.
And then it gives them, they lack permission to feel,
I
you know?
love where you said about emotion, it's all illusion. Very interesting. That's a positive intelligence thing, isn't it? That's a
Yes, it
little
is.
existential for an 8 or 9 year old, but yes, it is an illusion. Controlling your emotions, it is possible. Replace anger and fear and frustration with joy. I want to read you a silly one now. This was
Oh, I
from
love it.
July, and the
Okay.
prompt was write a movie trailer poem. So I wrote this one. It's a triple haiku again. I call it Trailing Logic and Introspective. Here we go. Why is the trailer first? Appetize audience thirst. Name should be reversed. Trailer should go last. After credits roll too fast. A film's postscript blast. Rename trailers soon as the film's trial balloon. See y'all there at noon. And Red will bring the popcorn. That's one of my silly ones. You have some art to share with us
I love
today?
your endings. No, I
Thank
think
you.
I am ready for our
Art.
say what?
Oh, you don't want to do art today? I have some
Oh
paintings
my
for you.
gosh, I totally forgot. I have it right here.
Okay, go ahead. We want to see your paintings,
Okay,
please.
so this one is still drying. My
Oh,
first time using glitter
Oh,
Look how wet it is. It's
we
sand.
can't.
Oh, wait.
There we go.
Sand, glitter, resin, and acrylic.
Oh my.
It was kind of
Interesting.
stinky. I didn't realize
Interesting.
it.
And
So I
what
don't know. I think it might take more than 24 hours to
I could see the glitter.
dry.
I could, and what
Yeah.
are you calling it? What's the name of it?
I know. I was thinking of what it was, and I'm thinking maybe on the top of my head, beach chaos, because I do have the sand, the glitter. It is chaotic because I didn't know, have you ever done something and you're like, do I like it? And so I show my family like, wow, but you don't know what that means. So I'm thinking, what does wow mean?
What does wow mean? That's a good one. What does wow mean? You ready? I have a brand new one I did the other day just for this show.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Ooh, is that your
I'm
glass?
playing with glass now. I bought a 1.5 pound bag of glass, shattered glass, shards of glass, and this is mirror. I bought it on Amazon, and this
Ooh.
is a combination of tube watercolors around the top left where all those purples and reds are and greens, and done with a brush in circles, and then scraped with my metal scraper, and then I poured liquid acrylics, the red and the purple and the yellow, just drizzled them around, and then I dropped the glass onto the wet paint. There's no glue on
So
this.
any glue? How does it stay?
I the wet paint, you can see the wet paint here. This I'm on the wrong hand here. This is all wet paint and it adhered to the wet paint. But right up here in the flower, or whatever you want to call this,
Yes.
I put black glitter glue down, and that's what and then I dropped the
Black
glass.
glitter
Black
glue.
glitter glue. It's like a daisy, and I'm calling this I don't know, storm is coming, something like that. You like it?
Ooh, I love it. I just ordered tiny I don't know if it's like beach glass or some kind of little
Mm-hmm.
thing. There's like a whole bunch of them, so I'm gonna play with that.
Let me show you one more glass one while we're on the theme of glass. This was one I did last. Wait a minute, I
Oh
have it
my
upside down. This
gosh.
was a city, and this is done with watercolors and glitter glue, and glass of
That's
different
all
colors.
watercolor?
Watercolors and glitter glue and glass, different kinds of glass, colored glass and plain glass. See it?
Yeah, the 3D effect makes it so much fun, doesn't it? It
Isn't that
really, really
cool?
adds to it.
Yeah, that's
Very, very
back
cool.
to my roots of geometrics and just using a ruler to. Well, yeah, I used a ruler to do the lines, and then I overcame over basically dragged the glitter glue over them with a point. You get good at making fairly straight lines. So that's the city in holiday attire. That's what it's called.
The city in holiday attire. I love that.
Right.
Very creative name. That
Okay.
inspires me. I think I'm gonna make a city. I
What's your
want to do
next?
something for Halloween.
Yep. Ooh,
So it is black, it is gray, it is white.
and
Yeah,
pumpkin.
turned bumpy. Yeah, because I'm playing with resin and I'm not sure. I'm still new to it, but I'm not sure what I see. I just saw maybe it could be, I asked my students, maybe it could be like a ghost or something. I have no idea. Oh, it feels really neat.
I
I
see
never felt
pumpkin.
it.
The orange is the pumpkin color. Do you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Is that a shiny? Is that a whatever that
Yeah, you
a
know what it is? I think the
metallic?
resin, yeah, I think that, yeah, the resin and, oh, it is bronze. Yeah, it's kind of bronze, but it looks orange.
Beautiful. Yes, it is. I see it. I see it. I have
Thank you.
I have a collage for
Oh
you.
my gosh,
I
I
did this
love that.
years ago. Do you know what these are? What I pasted on? This was done with watercolors years ago before I was using acrylics. Do you know what these are? Take a look.
Oh my gosh. Is it strips of some wait, I'm
These
trying to read the one on the
these are cut up credit cards.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that. I always cut them up and then like every week I'll throw a little piece in the trash.
You see?
But I
Can you see
never
some of them? Look,
yes, I oh yeah, I see the upper yeah, yeah, I can see it.
those are cut off credit cards without the name and without the number, and I glued them onto the canvas, and after I painted around it, and then I just made shapes, and I thought it came out
And you
really
painted
fun.
on some of them there, right? You kind of
Yep,
like
painted
drizzled.
over them. Right. Isn't that pretty?
So did you just came up with this? You just came
Yeah.
up like I'm gonna just like
Yeah.
you have taught me, and you know what's funny? My daughter's like, "Hey, mom, you want to paint on this?" And she'll give me like a foam thing and like different things. But you have taught me to paint with like
Anything.
anything, anything.
I save the wrappers from canned vegetables. I don't buy them anymore. Sometimes you'll have a picture of peas or strawberries or something on a wrapper or something. I save all
Ooh,
kinds of interesting things. I have boxes of of papers and foils. And do you have another painting? Because I've got one more.
I
Go ahead.
have this.
Yeah, go
This is my
ahead.
last one.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oop.
Oops. There you go. Nope.
Oh my
Let
gosh,
go.
right,
We got to
right
get you a
there.
green. Oh, that's beautiful. What is it? Looks like a
It
city.
is why, yeah. I wasn't sure. Right now, I'm just doing mega, mega abstract, and some people say, "Oh, I see a city. I see, a dragon. I see, like this could actually be I don't know, like a mouth of something,
I see it.
But it's funny. I love how kids and even I posted on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, I see like the beginning of spring, or I see
Hmm.
a view from the galaxy," and I can't see it sometimes, but when you really look, I just love hearing the, wide variety of people's imaginations.
To me, you're looking down at a resort in the middle of a snowstorm or an avalanche, and those are buildings, and that's snow, and those are roads and mountains.
Ooh, I can see it.
That's beautiful.
Love it. Thank you.
Beautiful. And I have
Okay,
one
let's
more
see.
for you. This was one of my early glass ones with colored glass with different kinds of,
Wow. So
and
that so you just trust that the acrylic will hold the glass. You don't need to, because that's what I was thinking,
well, I shake it
right?
a
You don't
little
need glue.
bit. I shake it a little bit on my table once I set it after a few
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
to
that's what I did with the sand. I just added the sand at the last minute. But you see how glossy it
turn
is?
this
Yeah.
upside down there.
I
Yeah.
love
So
it.
this
What
has
colors?
this has
Gold.
colored glass, mostly gold and purple. Gold and purple, I think. You can see the glass. I can't
Yeah, yeah,
backwards.
I can see the glass.
There. See the glass is
Wow. Yep, yep,
gold
yep.
and purple. And it was just like a cloud. Just a cloud.
So you're
I, li-
using balloons or using like what do you
I don't
you're
I
just
yes, I
pouring?
did. I think I did use balloons here. Yeah. I think and a lot of pouring and tilting. Yep.
Yeah, you've taught me pouring and tilting.
Yep.
It's
Very
so much fun. It is such a
it
healing
is.
activity, isn't it?
It is. It is. I go in my art room when I really need to just be quiet and introspective and get out of my own way. I just pick up a canvas and look at the colors, the paints, the glue, the glass,
Isn't it? Yeah,
anything I've
and you
got.
just feel so like it's just fun and you don't have to leave your house.
Well, yeah, I feel released. I just feel released.
That's the word,
So, do you
released.
have a couple of articles for us? Some say what articles or wacky headlines I used to call them?
Well, this one, okay, I'll start off with this one is like less than, it's one of those like truly say what. It is a sign that you would see at a store with a sale, okay, promoting a sale. I don't know who wrote these. My husband's like, wait, what? Get 50% off or half price, whichever is less. Who came up with this?
Somebody had a TV show. Was it early Johnny Carson or something with strange
Yes,
signs
yes,
from
yes.
stores and products? That's wild. Is that
That's
part of an
wild.
article or it's just one off?
No, no, these two are not articles, but I just thought I needed to share because this one is, they have to really think about, before you post a position opening. Waitress needed. Okay, that's fine. Must be 18 years old with 20 years of experience. I was like,
Unbelievable.
I know we're supposed to do articles, but I just kept thinking, just laughing. And if you're very like left brain, you'd be like, okay, 18, wait a minute, but how do I get 20 years experience? And you don't realize that it doesn't make sense. If you're very hyper rational, you think, wait a minute, am I reading this wrong? But I do have a fun one.
Yeah.
It's a sign. Look it up. New Zealand airport. Okay, they're trying to, I think, minimize the amount of people that are saying goodbye. So the sign that says maximum hug time 3 minutes. You see
Read
that?
about
For
that.
fonder
Yes.
farewells, please use the car park, which I'm sure is the parking lot. But I
Yep.
thought, how you see couples, right? They say bye, they leave, then they come back, they leave, they come back. And I'm thinking 3 minutes. Sometimes they can be too long depending on the person. And then sometimes you think 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, we're not going to see each other for who knows how long.
What a cool little video that would be. Not a TikTok, but a cool video of people saying goodbye if they agreed to be on camera or, gave you permission, but weren't saying, oh, we're acting for the camera just to see how people do that. I bet there are. I bet there are goodbye videos.
And you have to like make sure you say what you want to say in those 3 minutes, right?
Of course. Or not say. Sometimes it's just a
Or
hug
not.
and tears.
Yes, that is true. Very powerful.
The 3-minute hug, the 3-minute tears, and that's it. I'll never see you again. Thank God.
Yeah.
Bye. That was too long. Okay, I have two articles for you, and one I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm going to show the picture. I'm going to share the picture, and let's see. This is called the Poetry Pharmacy in London. This was from Nice News. At the
Ooh.
Poetry Pharmacy, here's a picture if you can see it. Poetry
I
Pharmacy, let me make it even bigger here. Five at the Poetry Pharmacy, we go back to the title. Shoppers pick up prescriptions for the soul. So let's just read this. 5 milliliters of
prescription for the soul.
yeah. Shelves are lined with books categorized by emotion, calm, comfort, words for love, as well as vials of poem setamo capsules containing tiny scrolls of everything from exhaustion to existential angst. A glass cabinet emblazoned with a skull and crossbones and the word poison holds the dangerous stuff, while a cafe within the store doles out coffee and cakes. They're going to open a second branch in Bishop's Castle in Shropshire. They set up late in the spring. Whether you're suffering from stresses, the modern world, or a broken heart, it has a poetic remedy for you. There's something poetry, here's the interesting part. There's something poetry does that no other art can quite do. It goes quickly to the heart of something, as though speaking intimately from one person to another, very, very directly. At weddings and funerals, it's a poem that's read. It's the art that people in states of heightened emotions turn to. Isn't that interesting?
That is beautiful. I would love to do that. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people would go.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's in the tiny scrolls, if it's a word or it must be just a poem that they put on little tiny scrolls. They didn't say how small the type is or anything like that, but that would be very
Yeah, you might need a
interesting.
magnifying glass, Bonnie.
Yeah, and I've lost my notes. I just closed everything out, so I'm going to go find them. So do you have anything else? Oh, here they are. Okay, behind the screen here. I'm just wondering what yeah, they talk about an emergency poet interview. She said improving access to the art form is her reason for all of it. The idea that poetry heals has backing in science, very interesting. Pediatric hospital patients were given the opportunity to read and write poetry. Karen, their feelings of
Ooh.
fear, sadness, anger, worry, and fatigue decreased. And in a 2019 review found that poetry therapy may increase empathy and decrease burnout in healthcare workers. Interesting. Gone are the days when poetry only appealed to a select few literature lovers. Thanks to social media, the art form has experienced a surge in popularity and sales, and that's what this woman would like to reach with the Poetry Pharmacy. I thought that was kind of cute. So, do you have another article? Because I've got one more.
I thought this was kind of a interesting one. It says life save. This is from the University of Central Florida. There's a life-saving sponge-like Band-Aid that saves lives. And I thought it was some kind of like, something in the sea, but no, it's a liquid gel made of silicone and oxygen. And it restricts hemorrhaging to stop bleeding. So they said it can actually save lives. But I don't know. You just find these random wacky things. And I thought, wow, we all want to save lives. And what an unusual way to do it. Don't try
Absolutely.
it at home, though. Do not try
No.
mixing.
I'm going to share one more visually here and read this. It's a long
Okay.
article and I'm going to summarize it. So, this young man
Oh,
on the left named Zach Wickham went to a Goodwill store where people give their leftovers and things they don't want. And he came across a shelf among the mismatched coffee cups. And we all know the stuff that people give away at garage sales or when somebody moves out of a house and they leave things behind. And he found some trophies. And this is a picture of the little girl whose trophies they were. Well, she's not a little girl anymore. She's an artist in Brooklyn, New York. And he realized there was a whole shelf of her trophies. Her name is Phoebe Kong, Kong. And he posted a TikTok and it got over 3 million views.
oh my
And he
gosh.
said, "Where is this girl? Where is she? Can we find her?" And here's a picture of his TikTok. And Phoebe Kong, part one, part two. And he went back the next day to the store and he decided, I'm going to stop the share here. He went back to the store to buy the rest of them. He bought a couple. He didn't buy any the first day. He went back the second day to buy them and they were all gone. And he thought, oh my God, somebody saw my TikTok video and they went to the store and they bought them all. This is terrible. He felt just terrible. But there was one left, one tennis trophy, and he bought it. And he continued to look for her. And they finally found her. She's a working artist in Brooklyn, New York. She's 25 years old. she started getting messages on Instagram from people all over saying, Phoebe, you're famous. Go. Somebody found your trophies. And they were saying whoever gave away her trophies was an evil person. They're blaming her mother. Well, her mother was the one who went to the store and bought them all and forgot the one that Zach Wickham found the next day.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she went home to LA for a wedding, and she said to her mother, I think it's okay. I have pictures of all of my trophies. So she went and made a video as well and said, there's nothing bad going on here. I had my memories. I didn't need the plastic trophies anymore. So Zach took the one trophy that he did get and he put it in a trophy case with white lights around it, and he
And
made it.
sent it?
No, it's in his house, and he made it
It's
into
his
a shrine.
house?
She posted 4 videos the next day and got over 3 million views. And she said, I made my mom donate them. I don't know why I did. I thought it was time. So this Thanksgiving, she's going home again, and they're going to meet for the first time in
Oh
person.
my gosh, how beautiful. You know, I had to, I wasn't sure what to do about it, but my dad had about, I don't know, 10, 12 bowling trophies. And I did not know what to do with it. I took a picture, but you feel really weird throwing them away because I never thought like what would Goodwill or Savers do with it? But you know what? You never know. You could replace the plate. I mean, they're from the 60s, 70s, but I had no idea what to do with
Absolutely.
them.
Well, when I go to places like Goodwill, and there's a veterans thrift store here we're in a suburb of Knoxville, Tennessee. Somebody took me to one about a year ago, and I found all kinds of interesting bowls and things that were
Hmm.
were good for planters. And I bought a couple
Mm.
glass dishes and little flower pots that were
We
didn't have
love
any,
vintage. Yeah.
and they're wonderful, and they're for $1, $2,
Yeah. Yeah.
95
Yeah.
cents, 75 cents. And I use them to pot. I like to collect clippings from coleus. If I come across a big coleus plant somewhere in public, I'll quietly just pinch off a little leaf there and take it home, put it in water and root it. And then I keep a big bag of dirt in my garage in an old wastebasket in a bag. And I'll go dip out the dirt and put it into whatever the planter is. And then I'll put the rooted coleus into that. I also save all my avocado seeds, and I have avocados that are 2 or 3, not plants, but just the leaves, 2 or 3 feet tall. They don't like to grow close to the dirt. They'll put up a branch of a stem, a stalk, a trunk that's sometimes 18 inches tall, and then it will leaf out. So I've
Oh, I'm
got
gonna
those.
try that. My
I've got
neighbor gives
those.
us avocados, but we throw the seeds away.
I tell you what you do also. You clean them off, you put toothpicks in them, put them over water in a little cup and wait till they
With
split. And then
toothpicks in the seed?
toothpicks in the pit to hold them on the edges of a little glass custard cup so that the pod will split and a root will come out, a stem will come out into the water. Then you plant it in dirt. I also use the seed scraped from the inside of a yellow pepper. I don't eat green peppers, but yellow pepper, they make
Oh,
adorable little. Yes, so I believe in repurposing or circular garden, if you will. That's a lot of what I have, and it's a lot of fun. It got cold here, Karen. We went from 100 degrees during, about a month and a half ago. We're now down to 38 degrees at night,
no.
but it still gets up to 80 during the day. So it's like, do I have the heat on? Do I have the air conditioning on? Am I wearing warm clothes? Am I
That
wearing a
is
sleeveless?
very
40
up and
degrees a
down.
day, at least 40-degree difference a day here. It's crazy. Do you water the lawn? Not do you water the lawn? I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway,
You wearing a
Karen,
sweater? Do you wear some suit?
it's been lovely. We're in Halloween. Are you doing it or not? Yes, in Hawaii?
Um, Probably not. We don't really have many kids here, and I think a lot of them are going to events or the malls or they have their
Yep.
own thing. Yeah.
We don't have many kids in my neighborhood. I've been here. This is my second or third Halloween. It's my third. Wait a minute.
Wow.
I moved October 1st, 2022. So that's 22, 23, 20. This is my third Halloween, and
Wow.
there was nobody around. They've grown up parties with costumes and all that. I don't go to
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I never got into that. Anyway, Karen, it's been lovely, and I'll be doing a live stream with Serge H next
Oh, I can't wait.
week. Yeah, and he's the gentleman who sings and plays and composed the music for my So You Want to Be. So we're going to close out with Serge. And Karen, it's always lovely to see you. And
Always.
let me get the music on here and let's go out with a song.
So you wanna be
I have to send you the words. A cool kid. Hanging with the inset. Looking real. Real and fine. Here we go. We're going to close out now. Bop, 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 bop. Thank you very much, Serge. Thank you, Karen. And this is
Thank
Bonnie
you,
D.
Bonnie.
We'll be seeing